Good morning and welcome to Key West. Today I'm going to be wandering around town a bit more. I'm going to go to the fort, their little aquarium, and then tonight I'm supposed to have a ghost tour. So why don't you come along with me? Should be fun. The whole time I was eating breakfast, he kept staring at me. Just staring. I mean, that'd be really fucking cool though. Really fucking cool. The park is open from 8 a.m. to sundown and only costs $6 per vehicle, or $2.50 for pedestrians and bicycles. Given the cost of everything else, that's fantastic. All right, so this fort is named after the short-lived president, Zachary Taylor, whose nickname, well, he was Old Rough and Ready. That's a hell of a nickname, Old Rough and Ready. He fought in the War of 1812, Mexican-American War, and a couple other of those little skirmishes that we really don't teach or talk about that much. But yeah, Old Rough and Ready. That alone is a badass nickname for a president. You know, he's one of the presidents we really don't talk about. Honestly, dude looks like he could drink, doesn't he? He looks like the kind of guy you could toss a few back with. I think that's what we need to focus on. Yeah. It's a bit cliched, but you kind of half expect to see Johnny Depp locked away in here. A bit more on Old Rough and Ready Zachary Taylor. He was a career officer in the United States Army, rising to the rank of Major General. He was the last presidential candidate from the Whig Party. Yeah, that's something we all need to know trivia-wise, but yes, he was part of the Whig Party, and he was the 12th president. Now, he survived several other wars, more than I mentioned previously, and after all of that, he died of a stomach illness a little over a year into his presidency. The fort itself was built in response to the War of 1812. The United States wanted more protection along their coastline, so in 1845, construction began on a fort to protect Key West Harbor, the Straits of Florida, and, as most of the literature calls it, the Gulf of Mexico. Though, as you wander around the park, there are signs that say differently. I'm not going to dig into that. It is, in fact, the longest-serving U.S. coastal fortification, serving actively from 1861 to 1947. Man, it's amazing how these historic ruins look like freshly paved cement stairs. Fantastic. They say the average Civil War cannon had a range of about 3 miles, which is pretty impressive when you think about it. I mean, to be able to hit something 3 miles out there, that's impressive for the time. That paltry admission cost doesn't just cover the fort, it also gives you access to the beach all day long if you want it. Unlike so much on Key West, the center is actually free to the public. Alright, so this is a family facility. I assume if I stick my hand in there, it's going to be PG related. So let's go ahead and try. Oh, I can actually see that one. It's a turtle. That's good. Some kind of sponge. Coral. Here's the sponge. Right next door is the U.S. Coast Guard Ingham Maritime Museum, which is not free and costs $20 a person, so I just did a walk by. So the pie is good, but here's my problem with vacationing in the United States. There was tax. I'm eating outside. I took it to go. There was tax on my piece of fucking pie. A single slice of key lime pie was like $6.75. With tax, it ended up being $7.25, 50 cents on a piece of fucking pie. How do you tax a piece of fucking pie, America? That is taxation without fucking representation, I tell you. Y'all want to do that whole make America great again? Here's what you do. Stop charging me tax on my fucking pie. Of course I looked it up. Do you think I would let something so perverse as politically pandered pie go unexplained? Which way? This way. I find cephalopods utterly fascinating. The intelligence they exhibit for such a short lifespan. If these creatures manage to live longer, there may very well be a second sentient species on this planet. Oh, shit, dude. Don't turn around. That big guy in that hideous Hawaiian shirt, he's back again. I don't know what he's staring at. He's staring at us. He's got that weird camera thing. Just don't turn around. Just keep looking at me. Keep looking at me. Key West's historic memorial sculpture garden is the handiwork of artist James Maston. Along with the Friends of Mallory Square, it commemorates locals who have made an impact on the island's history. Key West night is on every I'm not typically averse to main drags, main streets, and busy areas, but you can have too much of Duval, especially at the height of the day. So I just come 2 blocks over and I'm walking in relative peace. It's funny. Again, students, what kind of columns would these be? Please sit down in the comments section. Show you all a little Key West that's not Duval. Why is it every time I talk, some fucker's got to come up on a bike? Now this seems to be the real Key West, which I could handle that. I don't have that toxic trait where every place I go, I have to imagine if I could live there. But I do think here I could spend a couple years just kind of blending in with the scenery. This fucker. King shit at Third Mountain here. Yeah, that's you, buddy. Another key lime milkshake. It's good, but tax on it. The fuck are you taxing everything? It's food. Sure, I could drink water. Is there tax on water? Fuck off. I'm hitting that tourist burnout thing. I like it here. But I'm sorry, America just fucks you when it comes to tourism. They really do. I'm sorry, but they do.
Key West days on Key West. As a matter of fact, we have more dead residents on this island than we have living ones. A difference of 4 to 1. We have had 500 years of murder, mayhem, hurricane, and disease. That's an awful lot of spirits to be trapped on this tiny island.
The tour is obviously sold as a ghost tour, but it was a fantastic narrative of the island's history, from weird things like possessed dolls to racism, slavery, and a little bit of necrophilia. It was a very interesting tour to take.
Bedroom. Now you'll see that there is a light left on. That light stays on 24/7. It is hooked up to its own generator. Okay, that watchtower behind me, that tower behind me is at Malibu Square. It stands 65 foot high, but back in the day that was at 90 foot high. And built the base up. Now Manuel was in World War I, was a highly decorated war hero. Dancing with a life-size doll. Well, this gets back to Elena's sister Nana, and Nana never trusted the Count. She goes running out to the cemetery to her sister's mausoleum, and sure enough, she discovers Elena's body's gone. She goes running out to the Count's house. She knocks on the door. When he asks her, she goes, "What have you done? Where is my sister?" He's like, "Relax, come in, have dinner with me and the wife."
People always seem to want my opinion on the supernatural, the preternatural, the oddities of the world. Maybe that's because of my fascination with ancient religions, theology, anthropology. I don't know. The thing is, I try to refrain from offering too much in the way of opinions on these videos, except for, when you're getting screwed on desserts. That's very important to me. But that said, I'll put the links to some of my anthropology shorts down below. I did one on the science of ghosts and one on the belief in ghosts, if you were curious. I do feel as if I thoroughly immersed myself in the culture of this island today. I covered about 75% of it on foot, north, south, east, and west, plus the history with the ghost tour and the fort. Really can't ask for much more. Tomorrow I'm going to head out on the water, so thanks for coming along with me today. Why don't you join me tomorrow?